Biz Daily. A few states could still legalize marijuana through legislatures this year. So I didn't see what states it was, though. We got remain this year, legalize medical recreational marijuana through legislation, but other efforts have faltered. So we're looking at Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Delaware, North Carolina, South Carolina, wow, Kansas, Minnesota, New Hampshire. Then I think Minnesota has recreational already. So this will be interesting to watch, just to see how many more states knock out, cross that barrier between recreational and medical, right? Delaware is going to go for recreational. Kansas and North Carolina are all both medical, and strong chances of passing. So, good luck to you guys. And then again, these are just things that are going to happen no matter what. The toothpaste has been out of the tube. I mean,
for way too long. Way too long.
There's no now. So, like the original purpose of the law was to hinder a certain category of citizens, and now it's affecting everybody because people are realizing this goddamn plant is for the human. Like, hey, we're people. That's how that works. Not machines. We all have endocannabinoid systems, just like the nervous system. It's just sad that this is what prohibition does. It has hurt us more than it has made us better. Recreational, yeah. You doing some pro formas there, buddy? You working on something?
No, the person who does the cannabis overlay screwed up, and he didn't put it in the Slack channel, and now we're live. And then I'm trying to get this thing downloaded off the Slack channel so we can have our name that strain.
Yeah,
no, I tell you, like, some people just want to get fired.
So expected to pass this year. We got Rhode Island for recreational. You probably have some. And once these go recreational, is that when you're going to start pinging them for like, hey, licenses and stuff? Or are you going to have packets ahead of time? How are you going to be doing that?
Well, it's we're still closed, and I've been interviewing people, but trying to find people that are good in the industry is tough, especially when you're remote. And so I don't know, like when a licensed state comes up, I read the license and I create content, and then I've been doing enough work that I've tried to train people to do that for me, and it's just running a business is hard. Trying to find good employees is hard.
No, I feel you. I mean, especially you are an entrepreneur. So back to this Rhode Island bill, though. Some business details. 60 plus existing medical cannabis cultivators would control the market for at least the first 2 years. Another monopoly. The legislative measures are envision 24 retail licenses with 6 going to social equity applicants. I'm confused then. So after the 2 years, I guess, this is when that part takes place for applicants. So let's see what the next step is. Delaware, recreational, possible passage this year. Delaware would be a nice place to smoke weed. What they got going for business details. Would permit 30 retail store licenses, including 15 for social equity applicants, 30 processor licenses, including 10 for equity applicants. All right, so they're setting aside licenses for equity applicants. So, hey, you got arrested in Delaware. Check it out.
Yep. Until a lawyer like me sues pursuant to the Dormant Commerce Clause and gets all those social equity licenses that are created because of residency kicked.
Well, and I wondered though if the requirement for like any of these states when they say social equity, the hot word, the buzzword that gets everybody all triggered. Mm-hmm. You said it before where it has to be defined in the law, right? You have to define who this person is, the social equity person is. And it's always going to come down to an arrest. But I wonder if that arrest is something that happened in that state, or does it have to be in the nation, right? Because a lot of people
can't be in that state. If it's in that state, you have a Dormant Commerce Clause problem, because then it's one state preferencing its own citizens at the expense of others. So like New Jersey does a great job of having an unconstitutional, constitutional social equity program where the qualifying arrest and conviction can happen anywhere. But if you were a longtime resident of a particular jurisdiction, it has to have been in New Jersey in a particular zip code. And that means that an out-of-state resident can't get the license, and they could bring a Dormant Commerce Clause action.
Yeah, because all my arrests happen in California, so that would be something that would have to happen. Worth watching is Pennsylvania. I wonder if they have that.
Is definitely worth watching.
For recreational, you know how we talked about that one senator, and hopefully this is the bill where they had that craft grow tiered licensing. I really like that. So you can do a home grow if you want to get involved into the recreational market, which is, God forbid, enables citizens to make money and flourish,
Mhm.
I think that'd be a great way to do it.
Yeah, there's that, but then it's really kind of like cottage industry regulations, and so making food in your kitchen and selling them at farmers markets. That has happened in many jurisdictions. Um, I don't know how long it's going to take before weeds like that. I mean, I saw some news out of California about how they may start allowing farmers markets for cannabis in the near future, but it's
Well,
regulation, man. It's crazy.
it's not just regulation. We still like it's a freaking agriculture product, which somehow people can't wrap their heads around because they're getting rejected in the recent California farmers for the drought. Right? There's a lot of this subsidies for water for the farms. None of the cannabis people are getting that. None.
Yep.
So they are recognized for their money that they bring in, but they're not recognized for it just being the goddamn agriculture product.
Right. Well, there are some that are possible, and some that are little chance, and some that are expected, and some that are worth watching. If you go to this MJ Biz Daily, shout out to them, their article. And it really appears, though, that, I mean, if you're putting North Carolina, South Carolina, and Kansas impossible, no, they're not. Maybe Kansas, but I thought North and South Carolina, and I had read some news out of Marijuana Moment that both of their bills have now died. New Hampshire, that's too bad that they haven't gotten their act together. And Minnesota, it is frustrating. Minnesota's medical market is almost as bad as the one on the East Coast and how Illinois was prior to its legalization. But these states, hopefully Pennsylvania, the problem with Pennsylvania is similar to the problem with like Wisconsin in the sense, and Michigan as well, but Michigan evidently more free enterprise Republicans there. So when you have redistricting in state legislatures, even though you have a swing state that's about 50-50, the redistricting can, move the needle on it by quite a bit. I mean, like Wisconsin, they will sometimes vote for the Republican, sometimes vote for the Democrat for president, but they're because they're about a 50-50, 49, 51, somewhere in there. However, their legislature is 2/3 Republican because they have gerrymandered the shit out of that state.
Yeah, well, that's the majority of these states right now. They're gerrymandering just to stay alive, to stay relevant, which is kind of sad because it just seems like and it happens in either party, right? They're constantly trying to rig the game so they can always just stay in power or whatever. That's the end game is power. But when it comes to legalization, though, if this one or twin powers fucking activate,
Yeah,
get your shit together.
seriously.
All right.
But then that's something with stocks because
Yeah.
everything's sold off. The stock market's in a bear market, and recession's probably going to be here in another 3-6 months. But the
Well,
marijuana stocks are down like 66%. So let's do.
Oh, I like money.
Yep.